What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you are watching the very first episode of a brand new LP project. The game in question today is created by a company that goes by the name of Silicon and Synapse. And the game, of course, is the one and only Lost Vikings. Fun little fact before we get started, Silicon and Synapse is actually a company that I was going to say doesn't exist anymore, but that's not necessarily true. They do exist, they just use a different name. These days they go by the name of Blizzard Entertainment. You may have heard of them. Which is interesting for me, actually, because it means not only does Blizzard own my soul today, but they own my soul in my childhood as well. But anyways, let's get this thing started. I'm gonna start up a new game. And before we start the game proper, we get this little intro scene. It kind of introduces the characters and demonstrates what the game plays a little bit about. And it just gives a little bit of a background, a story for us to experience. So here we have Eric the Swift, and he is particularly skilled at running and jumping. Which apparently is something that Vikings don't tend to be very good at, because they're fairly large fellows. This is Olaf the Stout, and he has a shield, and that's really all. I'm not controlling this, by the way. This is all an automated sequence that you can skip if you like, but I am not going to. This is Baliog the Brave, and he's got weapons. So the idea of this game is we've got our three Viking friends here, and they have to, you can only control one of them at a time, so you have to kind of switch between them to kind of combine all of their different abilities to proceed through each level of the game. So for example, here we have Olaf. He's using his shield to block the little dinosaur there. And then we bring in Baliog, and we can kill the dinosaur from a safe distance. Another example, we can switch Olaf's shield to up above his head, and we can use that as a little platform for Eric to jump on top of, so that he can jump the necessary height to reach the prize. So now it looks like the Vikings have finished the day of hunting, and they are returning home with the spoils of the day. And apparently each of them have wives and children whose hair color matches their own. Don't worry, Eric, I'm sure you're not going anywhere. You're not going to be getting lost or anything like that. How could that ever happen? Well, I suppose you could get abducted by aliens. That would kind of mess with your plans a little bit. Somehow they managed to suck up the male Vikings, but leave the wives and children behind. I don't know if that's intentional or they purposely want to abduct the most ferocious Vikings they can. At the beginning of every level, you get a little bit of a dialogue. And this is the first level. There's these little question mark blocks you can run up to and hit A if you want to get a little bit of a hint. And I picked up a tomato there, which we can consume to restore a bit of life if we get hit. That little thing on the bottom there is like a electrical beam thing, and if you get hit by that, there's no coming back from that, you die. So the goal of each level is to get all three Vikings to the exit. So we got Eric here, and if we hit R we can switch to Baliog, Swing our sword and kill that alien. And we got Olaf. We can use this shield to block bolts from that shooter thingy. And we're good to go. On to the next level. And you get a password for each level. So we got a little alien friend up here. And a tomato. I am Afteek. I guess it's not a Viking ship. So we gotta find some bombs. There's another alien over here. Now one of Eric's other abilities, besides just jumping and running, is the ability to charge. If you hold down the Y button, you can gather speed and charge into things. Typically that's reserved for bashing down walls, but it can also be used to hit bad guys. Although if you're newer to the game, that might be something that you don't particularly want to do, just because it's a little bit risky. So Eric's cleared out the first level of this level. Grab this tomato. And get all of our other Viking friends over to the other side so that we can take the elevator. And if we press against this wall, there's a little bit of a hidden area there that we can get a piece of meat in. And we can use Beliog's bow to hit that button from the other side of the electrical field. Grab Eric and switch over to the bomb. And we can drop the bomb on top of the computer console. That disables the ship's security. I guess we should work as a team then. And go back to the elevator. Let's grab Olaf. Hit this toggle switch and that turns on the gravity field, or anti-gravity field. And we get all of our Viking friends up there. And forward a tad. We got an alien to contend with. And a little blaster thingy. So have Olaf black that. And we can move our other friends down here. And wait for a shot to go off and move Olaf down the ladder. We want to wait for a shot to go off because there is a brief moment where Olaf is vulnerable while going down a ladder. We can knock down this secret wall here and get a nice big chunk of meat. Not that we're ever going to do anything with it. I believe I can knock down this wall too. Oh, there's anything there. Eat up an apple since we took a hit there. And run away! Now we'll block this blaster. And we can go and open up these little gate thingies. Slay some aliens. And we make it to the exit. Now we just gotta get Olaf over here. And that's it for level 2. Oh, Vikings, why must you always fight? These first few levels are, needless to say, pretty easy. They get a lot harder as the game goes on. So let's see. Here we get a little bit of an intro to bashing down walls. So let's do that. And there's a little switch here we can hit with Beliog. Move over to the... That's a teleporter. Is there a question mark block there? Yes, there it is. But before teleporting, we got some stuff to do with Eric. Firstly, there's a tomato in there. It's a lot of wall to bash down for a single tomato, but whatever. And there's a bomb hidden in that little alcove. And if we hit the A button, we can teleport each of the Vikings. Put Olaf's shield above his head, we can glide. Grab that key. Croutonians, huh? Tomato, the evil Croutonian leader. Okay. And use the key, and that opens up that little gate. Bring over Baliog, and we can hit that button. We've got another wall to bash down. Usually it's a good idea to have Olaf go first, just because he has the shield, so he's the least likely to get annihilated by bad things if they are waiting for you in front of where you are. So let's see. We gotta put Olaf's shield up. And Eric can now jump up there. These guys are kind of nasty because if they see you, they'll shoot at you. So what we want to do is jump, eat that tomato since we took a hit, grab the key. And there we've got an X-bomb, which is a nifty little weapon. But we can also drop the bomb that we found earlier on that thing. Not that it really does anything, it just kills it for no real reason. Open up that gate, and let's demonstrate the X-bomb. Kills everything on the screen. And now all that's left is to proceed to the exit. We can also listen to the killer soundtrack in the background too, while we're doing that. It is nice to have such good friends. At least they know which parts of you is valuable. And with that, we leave it here for today on the premiere episode of Let's Play The Lost Vikings. Catch you later!